Hello, I'm Hoots, back again with another attempt at a voiceover. For this video, I left in the concept sketching phase because I thought it would be nice to show off my thinking process, my brainstorming before I do an illustration. Usually I cut them out because they have nothing to do with the final illustration. They're just kind of all over the place. As you can see, I'm struggling with these. I keep focusing on the head and then getting to the pose later and just I wiped that all and just focused on the pose, the body itself. And even this changes because I start getting through and I'm like, that doesn't look good. I'm gonna move it, change it. And that's kind of how art goes. Before this video gets too far in, I want to apologize for the canvas flipping. I do it a lot. It's a good habit to have, but it doesn't look really good in sped up playback. A little bit about this character. He's one of my oldest OCs. His name is Kudo. He's a lung dragon. His element is lightning. Which you'll see with his colors, he's very yellow. Gosh, I don't know what to say about him. He's just a sweet character I've loved forever, and I honestly just like drawing him. I don't even have much of a story for him. Redrawing a hand multiple times only to erase it. Hashtag relatable, am I right, fellow artists? So, much like in another piece of art that I've done recently for this channel, I really like drawing branches. Like, they're difficult to get right to make them look natural. But the way that I approach them is I just draw a long wiggly line and split them off whenever I feel like, and I feel like not planning them out fully really helps in making them look more natural, because it's just like, well, when's the branch gonna split? Well, there it is! The split! I never have too much to say about the line work phase of a drawing. It's just, it's probably the longest part for me. It feels like the longest. Because there's so much focusing on making the lines clean and readable and avoiding tangents that I just focus too much on it, and I don't get to enjoy it, I think, as much as I enjoy coloring, which should be coming up soon. God, I love coloring so much. Here it comes, the part I really love, coloring. So my process with coloring illustrations is usually I select the negative space and then invert that selection to fill in the drawing, as I find that it fills in to the lines better that way, rather than just filling in inside the lines first. That always results in way more cleanup. So by doing it the opposite way, where you select the outside and then invert, the cleanup is a lot more minimal. I'm also working with the branches and the character being on 2 different layers. This makes blocking out the colors a lot easier. So I've got the branch color and the overall illustration on one layer, and then the character color on the layer above it, which I've blocked out in yellow. And there's about to be a really big time skip coming up, because I had to take a big break before finishing this illustration.
Two months and a new tablet later.
Alright, so at this point, I'm drawing on a new tablet, a screen tablet. I had previously, in the first part of the recording, I had previously been using a bamboo fun that I had been using for 12 years. And in that little time gap of 2 months, I got a completely new tablet, and I was getting used to the tablet before I started working on this again, because it was the same but completely different. It was a lot to get used to, being able to see where I'm drawing. And once I got back to this illustration, it's like my workflow was so different. Like I could keep the image zoomed out so I could see everything. It was beautiful. I ended up not using those that I just added in, those leaves, because I thought they were too distracting. Now, I'm not sure if you saw what I did there. I did a multiply layer of a light pink to give this character an overall pinkish tone, and I'm using it as the shadows. And here's a fun tip. If you put the shadow color layer in a folder and set the folder to multiply instead of the color layer, you can create an eraser layer on top of that color layer of white. So you make 2 layers, one of your color, shadow, and then another layer above it for drawing in white. If you draw in white, it'll make the highlights in the shadow. It's a very fun tip. Right here I'm adding backlighting, where I basically just copy the leaves, invert the selection, or not copy, select the leaves, invert the selection, and then make a light layer. It's nice and bright. Alright, I hope you liked that. I tried a new approach with this voiceover where I watched the speed paint and talked over it. And I'm still trying to figure this out, so hopefully the next one will be a bit more organized. Thank you for watching, and big thanks to all my patrons who support me and make this possible. I love you guys. Bye!